20 years ago, humanity launched the Florence 03, a small greenhouse station designed to cultivate self-adapting crops. Its mission, to terraform dead worlds. For a while it worked. Then a decade ago, it went silent. No distress call, no final message, just nothing. The only sign of life was a steady green beacon, blinking patiently in the void above a lifeless planet. The station was presumed lost, its crew gone, another ghost in the orbital graveyard. Until now. The salvage ship Nomad 12 cuts through the black, its crew of 3 ready to claim the derelict station's valuable equipment. There's Rafi Mendoza, the pragmatic pilot, Dr. Elena Kaur, a brilliant biologist, and Dr. Milo Ree, a cautious geneticist. As they approach, scans confirm the impossible. The hull is intact. Life support readings show a stable temperature. But the internal cameras are useless, showing only a thick green mist obscuring everything within. The Nomad 12 docks, its mechanical arms locking onto the silent station. The crew suits up, their comms crackling with nervous energy. What happened here? Why did a fully functional station just stop talking? Rafi manually overrides the airlock. As the hatch hisses open, a wave of warm, humid air washes over them, thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers. It's a garden in the middle of space. Every surface is covered in lush vegetation. Vines twist like green serpents along handrails. Thick moss blankets the control consoles, and the station's lights filter down through a canopy of leaves, casting an ethereal underwater glow. There are no bodies. No signs of a struggle, no discarded EVS chutes. It's as if the crew simply vanished, leaving behind this impossible, thriving ecosystem. But something is wrong. This isn't just a garden. This is something else entirely. The plants themselves are strange, almost alien. Their stems shimmer with faint, rhythmic pulses of light, like tiny electrical currents running just beneath the surface. Dr. Kaur, ever the scientist, carefully takes a sample from a broad, waxy leaf. Back on the Nomad 12, she runs it through the genetic sequencer. The results are staggering. The plant's chloroplasts, the very engines of photosynthesis, are interwoven with human regulatory DNA. The computer flags genetic markers, cross-referencing them against the Florence 03's crew manifest. The tags match, the station's crew. Their DNA is inside the plants. Their very genetic code has become part of this orbital jungle. Milo, shaken, digs into the station's archived medical records. He finds it. A classified research initiative called the Symbiose Protocol. The original crew had all been volunteers in an adaptive biology trial. The goal was to create crops that could learn from their environment, specifically from the microbes of their human caretakers. The system used a sophisticated airborne viral RNA to transfer desirable traits between the crew and the plants, creating a self-correcting symbiotic ecosystem. It was a revolutionary idea, but one that was supposed to remain under strict quarantine, a contained experiment. But the logs show the containment alarms blared 7 years after launch. A breach. After that entry, the data stream cuts off completely. Silence, yet. The station's current environmental sensors tell a different story. Oxygen levels are stable at a rich 30%. Carbon dioxide levels show no increase. Something on board isn't just alive. It's actively and perfectly regulating the atmosphere. The system didn't fail. It evolved. As the team processes this, Elena reaches out and touches a thick, pulsing vine. It responds, curling around her gloved hand with a gentle, deliberate pressure. A sudden burst of static crackles in Elena's headset, followed by a rhythmic, structured clicking. It sounds like Morse code, but it's not. The ship's AI drone analyzes the signal. It's an electrical discharge pattern, and its waveform is identical to a human electrocardiogram, an EKG, a heartbeat. Every major plant system on the station is emitting the same signal, in perfect, unnerving synchrony. Milo pulls up the crew's old medical files, isolating their recorded cardiac rhythms. He plays them back. The clicks from the plants match the crew's heartbeats. Exactly. The garden is alive with the memory of its caretakers, reproducing their very life signs. Eleanor's voice is a whisper. They didn't die. They changed medium. Rafi, unnerved, tries to activate the external broadcast dampers to block the signal. It doesn't work. The rhythmic pulse continues to echo through the hull, a steady, living beat that refuses to be silenced. They decide they have to go deeper. The growth becomes denser, the air thicker. Here, the transformation is even more pronounced. The bark of larger plants has a texture disturbingly like human skin. Through translucent sap, they can see thin white filaments pulsing with faint light. Milo discovers a personal data recorder, almost completely fused into the trunk of a tree-like growth. He manages to power it on. A voice fills their helmets, calm, slow, and strangely serene. "We can breathe through them now," it says. "Photosynthesis feels light." The recording ends. The implications are terrifying. The crew didn't just merge with the plants. They became them, consciously. Back on the Nomad 12, the debate is furious. Raffi argues for immediate sterilization. This is a biohazard of unimaginable scale. If this viral matrix ever reached a populated planet, it could rewrite any organic genome it touched. It's a contamination, plain and simple, and it needs to be destroyed. But Elena sees it differently. She argues that this isn't a disease. It's a new form of life, a stable, oxygen-producing biosphere larger and more efficient than anything humanity has ever built. To destroy it would be to commit an act of extinction. It's a moral and ethical dilemma with no easy answer. As they prep the decontamination protocols, Elena starts coughing, a dry, persistent hack. Raffi orders a medical scan. Milo runs the diagnostics, his face paling as the results appear on the screen. He zooms in on her blood sample. Inside her red blood cells, tiny green discs are forming chloroplast fragments. The symbiote virus is already in her system. She looks up, her eyes wide. She tells them she can hear something new, faint harmonics in the hiss of the station's vents, like distant voices singing. "I think they're inviting me," she whispers, a look of profound peace on her face. Before Raffi or Milo can stop her, she walks back to the airlock. She removes her helmet, takes a deep breath of the station's floral air, and steps into the main chamber. Her helmet cam transmits a final, breathtaking image, a world of brilliant green bloom, her own heartbeat quickening on the monitor before leveling out, synchronizing with the rhythmic click of the vines. Then the feed cuts to black. On the Nomad's environmental display, the station's CO levels, which had risen slightly with their presence, stabilize instantly. The garden had accepted her. Milo seals the hatch, his hands trembling. From the viewport, the Florence 03 seems to glow with a faint emerald light as photosynthetic radiation vents into space. Raffi opens a channel for his final log entry, his voice heavy. "Salvage mission log, Nomad 12, we came for equipment. We found a working biosphere, a new form of life, made from the people who built it. We're not equipped to judge evolution." The Nomad 12 disengages its docking clamps and begins to drift away. Behind them, the Florence 03 turns slowly in the void, a tiny living jewel against the dead planet below. In a place where nothing else could survive, the garden had found a way to keep its creators alive. It just had its own definition of what it means to live.